Hi friends, it's Peggy from prettypapercards.com. Today I have a fun tutorial for you on how to make this really cute little notebook. And it's using some new products that we have. The Symbols of Fortune Designer Series paper and the Good Fortune dies. And so I'd like to show you how to make this little notebook. And it's made out of note cards. Here is a note card. Stampin' Up! Has note cards. 20 note cards and 20 envelopes come in a package, and it's an absolutely great value. So we're going to start with one little note card. And the reason I'm using this as the outside is because it's thick cardstock. It's nice and thick. And then what I've done is I've cut two pieces of basic white regular cardstock to fit inside of my note card. And these pieces are 5 inches by 6 3/4. We want them to come in, this is actually 7, and we want them to come in just a little bit on each side. So what I'm going to do, I've already cut the papers, and I'm just going to score them now down the center. And you score them at 3 3/8 right there. I'm going to score them using my paper trimmer, which is also a wonderful score tool. And here we go at 3 3/8 right there. Okay, so now the next thing, I'm going to leave my paper trimmer here because the next thing we're going to do is cut our beautiful paper for the to go on the outside. And so I'm going to cut a piece 5 by 3 inches for each side because we're going to put a little border here. So what I'm going to do actually, I think, is I'm going to cut 6 inches here. If you have 6 by 6 inch paper, this will work beautifully. And then here I'm going to cut 5 inches on the other side. Uh-oh. Maybe I didn't do that right. I only did it 5. Okay, so this side I want to be 6. Okay. So 5 by 6, and then score again at 3. Actually, cut at 3. Sorry, I got confused. That's easy when it's numbers. Easily confused here. Alrighty, so what we're going to do, we've got our outside. This is the outside of our little notebook, and we're going to adhere these papers right on the outside there with multi-purpose glue. So let's get our glue out, and this is forming the pretty cover, and then we're going to staple the booklet together. And this is beautiful paper, I have to say. The Symbols of Fortune Designer Series paper in the new 2022 January to June mini catalog. You are going to love it. I love the paper. It's got, as you could see when I turned it over, it has gold on one side, and it's just beautiful. Let's get that just right. Okay, now we're going to adhere this side. See that gold there? One side of all these papers has the gold, but this is my favorite of all the papers in the set. This beautiful, it's Calypso Coral actually, and I just love it. These beautiful flowers, they're so pretty. And I thought they'd make a cute cover for a little booklet. Okay, so there's our cover of our booklet, and here are our inside pages. So let's just score, I've already scored it, let's just burnish these so that they fold really well when we get them inside our little booklet. Here's the other one. Let's see. Okay. Get those burnished nice and tight. Okay, now this is the part where you need a stapler. And I happen to have this really super long stapler. It's this big one. I got it, I think I just got it from Amazon. But yours might work because it's not a very far distance. I just happen to have this, so I thought I'd use it. And what you're going to do is put these two papers, I like to get them even just right, so that the score line is in the center. And then I'm going to put them right inside the booklet, right on the same score line. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going, a couple times I did it upside down, so I want to make sure to do it right this time. I'm going to have to look carefully. And you just want to staple right on that line. And let's do it again on this side. There you go. And now you have your little booklet all ready to go. And it folds up, and this is just a little notebook for reminders and stuff, especially with the new year coming up. I thought it would be nice. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10 pages to write something on. Alrighty, now the next thing we're going to do is put our ribbon tie in. And I'm using a beautiful new ribbon called, let's see, the Windowpane check ribbon, and it's evening evergreen also, and so I thought it would go beautifully with this, and I think it does. So I'm going to cut about, I don't know, I'm just eyeballing it, but I'm thinking 18 inches, okay? And then what I'm going to do, we're going to put on this little border afterward, that little binding kind of backing. But I like to line up my ribbon and just put a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus on there, right in the center, that will just hold that down. Okay. And then we can just put this over that Stampin' Seal Plus. And that's just going to hold it while we do a couple other things. And actually, I think I might put a little bit right in here. Let me see if I can get that going. There we go. Just a little bit like that. And that's going to be the front of our book. Okay, now I have a piece of, this is a piece of the Subtles Designer Series paper in Calypso Coral. And I need it to be 2 inches by 5 inches, and I think it's 2 by 6, so I'm going to cut that down. Now I have the size I want, 2 by 5, and now I'm going to score in the center 1 inch on each side. And this is going to be kind of the binding. It's chilly here today, so I have this sweater on, but it has really long sleeves. So now we're going to glue on our little binding piece. And I'm going to just go ahead and put some multi-purpose glue in there. Don't get too close to the edges because you don't want it to come out on the edges. We want it to stay right in where it's supposed to be. But I did put glue all the way down the very center so it adheres right on the center of the book. Okay, and then what we do is we just fold it and put it right over there, right over the top like that. Now you can make this out of any designer series paper at all. Any ribbons, any decorations. Basically I wanted to just show you the pattern, how to make the pattern. And there's your little booklet. Isn't that pretty cute? And now all we need to do is decorate it. And so to decorate, I've decided to use some die cut pieces from the new Good Fortune dies, and here they are. I've cut this piece and these 2 leaves. I think this is a beautiful piece right here. Isn't that gorgeous, that white one? And then these are the different leaves. So I'm going to put, let me see my little pattern here. There's my sample. I like to look at my sample to see how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to put this kind of like this and just glue it down. So I'm just going to put little bits of glue on the little dots of glue on the back. Not too much. I don't want it to be too much. Just a few little dots. Just enough to adhere it. Okay, and we're going to put this just across here like this. I think that's a beautiful piece, don't you? Someone might know the name of the flowers. I really don't. I'm sure we'll find out as soon as as soon as more people start using this set. They're going to probably tell us what the name of the flowers. I just think they're gorgeous. Okay, and now we're going to put some of our leaves on. I'm going to put, and I love this die. Look at how it puts these little marks inside. It's just a really, really neat die. All of these dies are very neat. And we're going to put just a little bit of glue inside each one, just like that. And I'm going to tuck this one, I think I'm going to tuck this right down under here, kind of like that. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trim off that little tail, that little stem there. Let's just trim that off. We don't need that little guy. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to put another one coming off down this direction. So there's kind of some leaves, you know, alternating top and bottom or left and right, kind of that kind of look. Okay, let's see. Let's see how we might tuck this now. I think just like that. Okay, we'll just put that down. And then we're going to have one, whoops, my sleeve keeps getting caught on that. Get those sleeves up. And then we're going to tuck one more little one. The other two were the same die. I just cut it twice out of Evening Evergreen cardstock. And this one, I'm just going to, I want it to come down because I'm going to put my sentiment over it. I think I'm just going to do like that. You know, it really doesn't matter. It's going to look pretty no matter what. Okay, so we'll set those off to dry for a few minutes. And now we're going to stamp our sentiment. Now the sentiment I'm using is not from this bundle. It's from another new set called Flowing Flowers. I keep getting that mixed up. And I thought it was nice to say just a note. Get those sleeves up out of the way. I'm going to use Evening Evergreen ink and just a note. Okay, and I'm going to put it down here. You know, I think I can cut that little boo-boo off. I think I was pressing a little hard, but we're going to cut this anyway. So, because I just want it to be really thin, a little narrow strip. So we're just going to trim that up. You could use the paper trimmer. I'm just kind of doing my own thing today. We'll see if it comes out right. We can always trim it up again. Let's see now. How does that look? That looks pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. And then we're just going to put the little sentiment right over there. And that's why I wasn't too worried about all of this, because we're just going to cover that basically. And we're going to use some dimensionals. Let's put 3 dimensionals on there. Whoops, that one went over a little bit. Okay, that's good. And we'll put 2 more. 1. And 2. I like to raise up my sentiments if I can, because that pulls your eye toward them. It pulls your attention toward them. Okay, so we're just going to put this sentiment right over where the ribbon is, the area where the ribbon's coming out from. There we go. And now there's our little booklet. We're going to add some little embellishments in a minute. But first I'm just going to tie a bow here. Now you could definitely tie a knot. I know some people prefer to just tie knots, and that's fine. I like bows. I'm kind of a bow person. So we're just going to try to tie a little bow right in here. Where did that little guy go? Try to start again. It's a little bit harder when it's attached already. We're just going to flip that through there. There we go. Okay. And you just fuss with your bow just a little bit. Isn't that pretty cute? And now let's just trim those edges, those little tails. Let's trim that one just a little bit more. And again, if you give this as a gift or use it yourself, you can definitely tie it in a knot afterward. And let me get out now the new brushed brass butterflies. These are so pretty, and I thought they would look just beautiful here. So let's put a few of the brushed brass butterflies on here. There's one. They have adhesive on the back, so I think we'll put one like right there. And we usually want to put 3. There are 2 sizes, the little small and the large here. There we go. And there's our little notebook made out of this the Symbols of Fortune Designer Series paper. I think is so beautiful, and just a note card. I hope you've liked this tutorial, and I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, Pretty Paper Cards, and just hit subscribe. And I hope you enjoy this, this tutorial, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.